Welcome everyone to the City Council meeting of Thursday, June 18, 2026. The Opens Meeting Act is posted on the east wall of the council chambers, and a notice of this meeting was published in the York News Times on June 11, 2026. If you would, please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amanda, the roll call.
McGregor.
Here.
Lopez. Here. North.
Here.
Shepherd. Here. Postier.
Here.
Wilkinson.
Here.
Van Esch.
Here.
Piper.
Here.
You were all sent the minutes of the June 4th, 2026 meeting. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes?
Move for approval.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Amanda?
McGregor.
Yes.
Lopez. Yes. North.
Yes.
Shepherd. Yes. Postier.
Yes.
Wilkinson.
Yes.
Van Esch.
Yes.
Piper.
Yes.
Our next agenda item are claims of elected officials.
We do have two claims of elected officials. First is Tony North of North Printing and Office Supply in the amount of $1,325.24. I move for approval.
Second.
The motion and a second. Amanda?
McGregor.
Yes.
Lopez. Yes. North.
Abstain.
Shepherd. Yes. Postier.
Yes.
Wilkinson.
Yes.
Van Esch.
Yes.
Piper.
Yes.
I suppose I can have a claim for Gary Wilkinson of JMW News, related with Melanie Wilkinson, in the amount of $200. Move for approval.
Second.
Motion and second. Amanda?
McGregor.
Yes.
Lopez. Yes. North.
Yes.
Shepherd. Yes. Postier.
Yes.
Wilkinson.
Abstain.
Van Esch.
Yes.
Piper.
Yes.
And next are the claims for the period of June 5th through June 18th, 2026.
The Finance Committee did meet yesterday to review those claims, so therefore I move for approval of the claims for the period of June 5th through June 18th, 2026.
I have a motion and a second. Any further questions of the Finance Committee? Hearing none. Amanda?
McGregor.
Yes.
Lopez. Yes. North.
Yes.
Shepherd. Yes. Postier.
Yes.
Wilkinson.
Yes.
Van Esch.
Yes.
Piper.
Yes.
Our next agenda item is we need to consider approval of the department activity reports for the month of May 2026.
Move for approval.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any further comments? Amanda?
McGregor.
Yes.
Lopez. Yes. North.
Yes.
Shepherd. Yes. Postier.
Yes.
Wilkinson.
Yes.
Van Esch.
Yes.
Piper.
Yes.
And we need to approve the cash balances for the month of May 2026.
Move for approval.
Second.
Any further comment? Amanda?
McGregor.
Yes.
Lopez. Yes. North.
Yes.
Shepherd. Yes. Postier.
Yes.
Wilkinson.
Yes.
Van Esch.
Yes.
Piper.
Yes.
Our next item is City Administrator Report. Dr. Crawford?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council. I want to make sure everyone is invited to the open house for the new fire station on the 27th. And so that's going great, and we're looking forward to welcoming everyone there. The dedication is between 9 and 9:30, and then the rest of the morning is tours and having a chance to talk to the staff there and see the new station. So I encourage everyone to come out to that. We are currently working with architects about what the next phase of the old fire station will be. So we visited some city buildings in Columbus and Hastings yesterday, and our architects went with us, and so we had some good conversations about different options for the ways we might remodel buildings. In Hastings, they had an old bank building, which was turned into city offices, which they then remodeled as better city offices. So that was the first place we went. That's exactly what we're thinking about, what could we do in this building? So that's what we're working on there. The next time that the architects will be back is next week. So we'll send out an invite if anybody's able to join us for the conversation. I think the next step, now that we've seen what the space use might look like in newer technology and things like that, we saw restricted access and some of the things that you can use new technology to do. The next step, I think, is that we actually kind of go through and move blocks around. Like, where would you put things? What's the best way to use the space in this building and the old fire station to its best use for the city for the future 50 years or something?
Very good. That's the next step in the process, so.
So our technology person is gone tonight, so I am sub-technology. So I hope it's not subpar technology, so I'll do my best. But if something happens to the stream, yeah.
Well, the owl's looking at me, so you've got that on. So thank you very much. Our next agenda item is consider approval of the master agreement work order with Olson for professional services for the hydraulic water model and water master plan update in the amount of $35,500. James, explain what that is.
Yep, so this is our water master plan that was completed in 2019. There's no state regulation that you have a water master plan, but it's highly encouraged to have. It helps out if you're gonna be looking to try to get any funding, grant funding, stuff like that. They wanna know you have a plan, what your hydrology looks like, what's the capacity of your wells. And then, due to, some newer additions to industrial parks and the growth, the interest in growth that we're seeing, we believe now's a good time to update that with our current flows and what we're flowing with our wells and what our daily averages are for pumping. And that way we know what our capacities are when we have people coming in and, potentially.
It's a pretty big economic development
Oh, yeah.
question when they come to you.
Yeah, and so Olson, actually, they did our water master plan in 2019. So we thought it was best that they update that rather than pay another engineering firm to review the big master plan that we have now. They already have the files, so they can update it and input our new flow.
So for the record with the council, this is an update, and so it's important that we use the same firm that created the plan. And again, we thought it was best interest of the city to update the plan with the existing engineers rather than put a whole new plan out for bid for a larger cost.
Thank you. Questions of James?
Are you worried about any exclusions that they had in here? Like, were you hoping maybe have some of the stuff in the plan?
No.
So you don't need anything.
Well, we do have some things changing and I think it's really smart to stay ahead of this. So,
That plan also details, like in the event of emergency, what our plans are, which correlates to the LEOM that we have as the city as well. So just making sure those are up to date, and our technology is up to date with cybersecurity within the plan.
Well, and it'll also include all the updates we've done to our water system since then, right? Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
And this is not coming out of the general budget, correct? It comes out of
It comes out of the water
The water
department,
fund.
engineering.
Engineering.
Yep.
I move for approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further comment? Amanda?
McGregor.
Yes.
Lopez. Yes. North.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
Postier.
Yes.
Wilkinson.
Yes.
Spanish.
Yes.
Piper.
Yes.
Our next agenda item, James, stay right there. Our next agenda item is consider approval of an estimate from Sergeant Willing for the liner installation of well 82-2 in the amount of $109,372.
Yeah, so a couple meetings ago, council approved of Sergeant Drilling to pull 2 wells for inspection. 82-2 is actually located directly south of the Green Bridge. That was the first well that they pulled, because again, we looked at our efficiencies, and that was one of the wells that had dropped in efficiency. After pulling the well, they noticed that the well casing had holes in it. So our plan is to, if we get approval, to reline this well casing on 82-2. That well casing has been in place since 1982. And we are not going to do any further work with that second well, so we're just going to use the remainder of the funds left over to take care of this well and get that done. So we'll try to revisit the other well next fall.
Sorry. That's-
Yeah.
I was curious, on the bid, it's showing the fill in the bottom 78 feet. It says 78 feet
Yeah.
on the bottom.
Yep, so we're actually shortening up the bottom of the well as well. So we actually ran some tests to where they put a plug in there because we wanted to make sure that nitrate levels did not increase by us plugging that bottom section of that well.
Gotcha. Are you worried about the other well, though, not doing anything to it until it's okay?
We did a little bit of work to it. We took off there used to be a right angle drive on it that was causing some issues, we believe. So we ended up taking care of that with a little bit of money, but we don't have any concerns.
You started with this one because it was the one that was showing.
Correct. But
Showing the
we
most
were able to
weakness.
do a little bit of work by removing that right angle drive, a little bit of electrical and mechanical work there. But yes, the remainder of the funds, we plan on putting into 82 to get that back up to snuff for us.
Well, that's a long time from 82.
Yeah.
If the next one lasts that long, we did well.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I move for approval.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any further comments? Amanda?
McGregor?
Yes.
Lopez?
Yes.
North?
Yes.
Shepherd?
Yes.
Posterior?
Yes.
Wilkinson?
Yes.
Van Esch?
Yes.
Piper?
Yes.
Our next agenda item are second readings of ordinance number 2436 and 2437 to amend chapter 52 to enact a section to permit operation of utility type vehicles within the corporate limits of the city as authorized by the Nebraska State Statute 66-356 to impose a penalty for violation of this, and also to amend chapter 52 in under ordinance 2437 to enact an ordinance to permit the operation of golf cart vehicles within the corporate limits of the city as authorized by this ordinance and the Nebraska revised 60-6381, and to impose penalty for violation of that section. So we have two different ordinances. I just read them both at the same time. I know there's some, I would start, I guess, with the ordinance committee. I know been some time and some discussion about trying to kind of narrow the focus of a couple of these things down and answer some questions. So I'll let you guys address that first.
Yeah, we actually didn't make any revisions to the UTV ordinance. And I don't think that we had a lot of issues with that one. It's the golf cart ordinance that we did revise a little bit. We added more exemptions on the streets to where they can, after getting some input, we added some more restrictions there as to where the golf carts can go. And we also, I think, just some other words that we had 35 miles per hour. We said or less, we added it. Wasn't that what we did, Charlie?
That's required by state statute. I think you're right. The only things we added were restrictions on Grant and Lincoln Avenue.
Yeah. And so we, just from taking the input, we decided to do some more on that. So, I don't know, did you want anything to?
The only thing, there was a question brought up last time about in the UTV ordinance, it talked about having a farm permit and the ability to drive a UTV with a farm permit for kids that don't have, or for people that don't have a Class O. So because of state statute, that is allowed. It then asked what happens between the ages of 16 and 18. And honestly, according to state statute, when you're 16, you get your POP, your farm permit goes away. So there's nothing that we can change about that, because that is the state statute and we do have to follow it. So a 13 or 14, 15-year-old with a farm permit could drive the UTV. But once they turn 16, they lose that farm permit, they cannot until they have the Class O, and that is state statute. So that was the answer to the one question that was brought up about what happens to that age.
I mean, one would logically think that wouldn't be the answer, but that's the answer.
That's the
And we
answer.
can't do anything about it.
And- Yeah, that's the answer.
There's a question about being employed by.
Employee, right.
You have to be an employed, and then it could be a little convoluted there, even, what do you call employed by the farm? So that would be, but that's again, all state, we can't really, change it.
In the UTV ordinance, you still have, where we have to have a flag on there, a form safety flag, but you didn't add that to the golf cart one. Is there a reason why we wouldn't add that as a safety ones that are going slower in traffic that?
We just kept all the restrictions off of that one, other than, not operating, you can't operate from dusk till dawn, so it has to be during the day, so. But no, we just kept all the restrictions off of that. So.
Was there any other additional conversation on requiring them to maintain insurance on them rather than getting them like every other vehicle where you have to have it with you or easily accessible? And then
What was that, the state
statute?
statute?
Yeah,
The
the
state
state
statute, we can't make you carry it because the state statute says you have 5 days to produce it.
So again, we
Does
can't
it-
change that.
But can we, I thought we could make it more strict.
That is such a fine line, like, when some of those things we can, but like that, we can't change that, we cannot change what the state says on that.
Maybe help Charlotte with the trying to
Yeah,
explain how that
where the
works.
statute has defined the requirement, the specific requirement, then we don't have authority to impose a different requirement. But where they have not, then we can impose additional restrictions like the ordinance committee wanted to do with restricting on certain streets. That's the kind of thing that we can do something about.
How about the need to have a registration, sticker on it?
We decided not to do that. Logistically, it's gonna take a lot of time. It's gonna pull the police in for, it could be every day for the next 60 days, somebody would show up. Because that's what you do at the sheriff's department, right? You show up and you say, I need to have my car inspected, they have to find somebody. And we didn't think that that was worth the price of, one, pulling officers away, two, really having the sticker there. So,
But that's a one-time thing. when you're-
one time a year.
Well, you
is
could
what we
renew
said,
it,
Yeah.
but if they register, the inspection would just be one time, and as long as it meets it, so you're continuing to renew the same one, there wouldn't be that need to re-inspect it each time. But then we're making sure if they do register it, it follows what our ordinance requires to have those safety features that are needed.
But the state statute already tells you that. And that's why we removed all that, because if you follow what it says in the state statute, it's requiring you to have brake lights, to have this, to have that. And who's to say that the police officer, you look at two different ones, maybe older models, they look different. He says it's not good, but state statute says it is good. So we're trying to ease that burden off of them.
But it puts the burden at the beginning of where they have to register it. At that point, they have to show that, yes, it does follow state statute and city ordinance. Versus if we don't, then it's going to be up to every police officer at every stop to determine at that point, are they following state statute or not? And then you're asking them to do it in the middle on the side of the road, where they pull somebody over, to be inspecting it.
It's the same that they pull over a vehicle.
Yeah, but they're not
It's the same thing.
inspecting that. The vehicle you've registered, so they know it's a vehicle that is eligible to be on the state of Nebraska or York roads. Whereas
But they don't
you're
inspect
asking
your
them,
vehicle when you go to register.
When you do a licensed
give them-
motorcycle, they don't expect.
They don't come out and look at it.
Yeah.
It could be the old
they do
West
if it's
Bucket.
out of state, but.
Yes, only if you're out of
Yeah,
state.
so that's all we're saying, is it's registered, so if it's been sold in the state, it's already passed the registration inspection. So they know it's roadworthy. Having that registration here, you're gonna ask every officer every time they pull somebody over to now inspect that Golf or the UTV at the time of while they're dealing with everything else that they're dealing with.
I don't think.
When you
we're
go
asking
register
them
a
to
car, though, you can license a car that's not roadworthy.
Doesn't he have to have wheels?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah, I think we were just trying to make it as simple as possible. I mean, it boils down to, we've done this, of course, this is like the third go around. We argue about should it have seatbelts, should it have flags, should it, if the state statute said it was fine to be this way, let's just go with that. It just basically boils down if you feel like the city can handle having golf carts allowed in town. I mean, that's kind of the way it kind of seems like it shakes out. Either you're for it or you're not against it. I mean, you can sit there and argue about how many different things it should have or not have, or stickers and things like that. But I think it just boils down to if you think, the city can handle having, additional vehicles on the roads.
Well, I think it was a good idea, basically, to have these as two different amendments for the sake that I have very little pushback on the UTVs. I have not really heard much about that at all, and I get it because it's already coming with safety equipment already built in. And then, if you want to take it out on the road and go with, with regular traffic and follow the rules of the road, it's a lot easier to follow the rules of the road because you have the equipment that needs to be on the road, like a car would. But I do have a lot of people that just cannot, take the thought of the golf carts being out, with regular traffic. And most of it's, all of it, and safety or, concerns. And I have to agree, if you're not gonna even require a flag on it or a seatbelt or anything, that's really, just a free-for-all of letting them just go. But that's just kind of where I'm sitting with it is, most people that I found is just are totally against that one, but they're really just not saying a lot about UTVs.
And I second what you're saying because I'm also thinking about the youth and they're certain ages, they're learning how to drive. And with having golf carts that are going to be at a slower speed, they're still trying to navigate how fast speeds should be and how fast is a car coming towards them. And so to me, I feel like there needs to be more restrictions because, if the police are out and there's someone that is driving a golf cart, but there's not, a sticker that's identifying the adult that has purchased it, if there's an underage child, how can we hold the parent accountable? Kids are gonna maybe take out their parents' golf cart for a joyride. I don't know, I'm just nervous about, how loosely this is putting forward and not enough, I think, parameters to move forward with. And so that's just my thought.
I understand that, I value your guys' opinions, but when it comes to kids and what they may or may not do, I'm still a big one for parental accountability. I'm sorry, I am.
Well, and that's exactly why that sticker is going to hold the parent accountable, because when the police sees who is under, who the parent is, who made that purchase, then there should be a fine or something that goes along with that arrest, or not arrest, but, that ticket or consequence coming from, okay, and I guess there's both sides to this, but you're not always gonna be able to see what your kid is doing 24/7.
I don't think the sticker drives the penalty phase or anything like that. It's the person that does it violates the law and restriction that generates that. So just having a sticker doesn't make anybody more accountable than the next person's. I mean, like she said, the parents have to instill and children have to know who to follow and when they don't.
Right.
So,
Well, on that note too, I'm a little concerned that if this just happens and we don't really have much, it just passes in, okay, so the average person out there is just gonna say, if they go to drive golf carts, okay, great, they're take off on their golf cart. They're not gonna go look up the state statute to make sure that they're following the rules. So then here comes our police chiefs and our staff having to enforce and tell the people all the rules of that state statute. And I don't think that's any better than what you're trying to avoid,
I agree with you there too, right?
Yeah, 'cause that's
I'm not
ridiculous.
saying that everybody's gonna rush and read the state statute, but I would like to think that if you're gonna go buy one and the rules come out and it's in
There's
the.
people have got them in their sheds
And-
now, they're just gonna go get them and take them on the road. They don't care. If they saw somebody do it, they're doing it,
But we're already doing that, right? And we have really we're not pulling over people that are already driving their golf carts on the streets. And this will give the person that's driving their golf cart the right to do that legally. Because they're already illegally doing it, but we're not pulling them over. They're not
Well, this is just a
necessarily.
free-for-all, let's just let everybody do what they want, basically, and if they wanna follow the rules, they can, if they don't, then it's the police department gonna have to make sure that everybody does the right thing. It's gonna be chaos for a long time.
to your point, if we
And
did,
then we still don't even have golf carts for like York Fest or whatever, because we just took out Lincoln and Grant.
No,
on that.
no, in there it says, there's a provision in there that talks about like parades and.
Okay, I missed
Special,
that.
Yes,
Okay.
that is in
Got it.
there with that parade permit.
That's the only positive thing.
If you're having an event, it's
That they
yes,
want,
in
you
that
know.
permit for that event, it is included in there that you can drive in.
since we're including restrictions on roads and other things, if we did have a registration process, that could be part of that, given sheet that says, just so your information, these are the requirements per state statute, you can't drive here per city ordinance. You know, you can make that education.
How do we know who they are? They're just gonna get on the road and go.
Yeah, without.
Until you pick them up for doing something wrong,
Yeah.
that you don't know what they know and what they don't know. If we're not gonna if we're not gonna have registration, you see what I mean?
It's good discussion. I know there's some people, I know there's some people here. I would, allow comment if anybody would like to come to the microphone and make a comment. I'd give you a couple minutes to say anything if you want. I think most of you guys are feeling positive. The UTV seems to not be where the discussion is right now. So, this is second reading and this is what, please. This is second reading, so this is why we do this, is so that it takes time and we talk through issues. If you would, your name and address for the record, thank you.
John Beal, 515 East 18th, York, Nebraska. I think it sounds like we've got a lot of good discussion on both sides here, for and against, and I think, you know, when I think about it, I think Jerry has a point as far as if they're in the garage, people may drive them. But I also would like, just my personal opinion, I kind of go with Jennifer on the fact that if they're going to do it, they should know the ordinance. If when it's announced that it is per state statute, and you have one in your garage and you want to go drive it, you probably should sit down and read that and make sure that your golf cart or UTV applies, and I understand the safety issues as far as the golf carts and that. I agree with Jerry, UTV wise, you know, a lot of them, if they don't have, they at least have the shoulder belts, and if they don't have that, a lot of them are the full harnesses, and roll bars, and, you know, so I mean, the safety wise on the UTVs, I would agree, is already kind of built in, like he said. And the golf carts, I think, you know, I mean, I'm sure you can, I don't do as much with those. I'm sure some of them probably can come with seat belts, or you can probably get seat belts and light kits for them. I know I've seen a lot of them dressed up, and I just want to say that the people that have kind of joined my Facebook group and the farmers, the people that I've talked to, we are not wanting to make this a hassle or a free-for-all or a problem for the city. We are wanting to make it so that it's user-friendly, and you know, so we're not here to create issues. We just want to be able to use them and enjoy them. People up at the golf course can drive to the golf course without having to worry about, gosh, am I doing the right thing or the wrong thing? Or maybe an elderly couple that wants to go for a cruise. And I understand what you're saying about kids, but I also agree with Jennifer that it goes back to parenting. And as parents, you have, I say you have to, or you should, be willing to pull those keys out of those machines if you can't trust your children and they don't have access to it. And if they do, they should have consequences at home as well as with our law enforcement. I mean, it's, you know, when I grew up, if you did something like that, I mean, you were gonna hear it. I mean, when you got home, like the end from the law, whatever. And so I guess I just want to reiterate that we aren't trying to cause issues. We're just asking to be able to use them. And thank you for all your consideration and time. And I hope you can all come to an agreement, and that at next reading, maybe we can pass this and go from there.
Thank you,
Do you have
John.
any questions?
Yeah,
Okay,
thank you, John.
thank you.
If you would, just your name and address for the record, thank you.
Dwayne Gross, 1018 Rodell, York, Nebraska. Mainly, I just want to thank you for considering it. It's something we definitely need, especially with the UTVs. I can tell you, my UTV is just like that, I think it's got turn signals, got the seatbelt on, it's no different. And for us farmers, it'll make life 100 times easier, and it won't create a safety issue. As far as golf carts, I don't see a problem with them using them. I followed a scooter down the street the other day. I mean, he's driving down the middle of the street. Well, it's no different. In fact, it's not as safe as a golf cart. So, I mean, things are gonna happen like that regardless. So I don't really see a problem with the golf cart either. And you look at Columbus, they seem to be able to do it through that town that's big. And realize it takes safety, everything does. But we really appreciate you considering it, because it will be a big benefit to us.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to come to the microphone?
Dan Audi, 1317 Road 15, Geneva, Nebraska. I still oppose this because of safety, and yeah, as you guys know, drive a lot of miles in town. In the last year and a half, 20,000 miles, never left York. We drive a lot, and I still have the concern of safety. That's all I got for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
Well, thanks. I'm Gail Holmes, 129 South Main Avenue, right here in York. And I have a couple acres down in McCool right now. And it's easier for me really to take my UTV sometimes down there, right? Right now though, I gotta pull my trailer out, I gotta put my ATV on there, and then I gotta drive it all the way down there, right? It would just be easier if I could just drive it out, right? I only live like 2 blocks from the end, but it's still illegal, right? It's not an ordinance, but, so I appreciate the safety thing too, but mine it's a, you know, a 2-seater, got all the, you know, turn signals, all that stuff. It's very safe. You know, I just came from Florida. Go down there, see in the big city, Clearwater, Miami. See who's driving golf carts. Everybody. You can go rent them. Tourists from other countries who have no idea what they're doing. Do you guys not give credit to the great people of Nebraska for growing up in a place where we have all this freedom and we're stifling ourselves? Let's not do that. Thank you.
Anyone else? I don't want to cut it off, but any council, any further comments? This is second reading. Yeah, I know you're all getting emails and conversations and things, so I would like to bring this back at the next meeting for the third reading, so.
Second will be the July 16th meeting.
Oh, okay, the 16th meeting. So we'll bring it back then and we're gonna make a decision. So, listen to people and talk amongst yourselves and we'll figure this out. This is the second reading. Our last agenda item is a public hearing on an update of A1 zoning, ordinance number 2438 to amend 6AL Agricultural District 317 to authorize public or private events with a special use permit. Dan, would you speak to this item, please?
Yes, so in this ordinance, we had done this a few years back, we allowed certain type of venues in our ETJ in the ag. So we've had some people request, they'd like to put like a wedding venue, maybe a pumpkin patch, a berry farm. So this new wording would allow those type of venues, activities with a special use permit. So it's just opening it up a little bit.
Which area is that exactly?
So it would be from our city limits
Okay.
out 2 miles.
Our 2 mile radius around the city.
Okay.
And that's all we would have jurisdiction over.
Questions of Dan? Ordinance committee looked at this?
And
It's just like he said, it's just widening.
Yep.
the planning commission recommended approval.
Very good, very good. If you would like to pass this, we would need to suspend the rules. Oh, I'm sorry, this is a public hearing. Kind of jumped over that part. If anyone would like to speak to this item, they can come to the microphone now.
Do I need to reach out?
I think we got it.
Dwayne Gurlitz, 1018 Rodell, York. So I guess, I don't quite understand what the difference is now. I mean, like, we have a seed business, we have a customer appreciation meal. That's gonna require a permit now?
I can't
I think
answer.
there better have some more clarity.
I think these are for permanent type,
Somebody want a venue.
like a whole, it's around open, like to start a business that was gonna be in our 2 mile radius, that was gonna be this kind of a, basically to host public or private events, like a pumpkin patch, or if somebody, like, we had a deal a couple years ago where some people proposed a possible racetrack, that would be something that would have to have a special use permit. I don't know
So
that
is there
anyone.
some clarity of where that line is drawn in the ordinance, or is it a free-for-all and it's a regulation that really is getting put into place that you don't even understand what it is?
No, I mean, I think it's really just the function of what we're saying there. I don't think it would have to do with you running a seed business, or, you know, because it's not really a public or private event. I mean, that's just you running.
Well, it is a private event.
Well, I mean, but it's
It
not
is.
like you're not gathering 100 people out there to do that, though, within our 2 mile radius.
Might be, could be, or maybe more. To me, it's pretty vague, and it's like, what's it different than it is right now?
Right now, it's not allowed.
Charging people to come to this event,
But it says a private event.
but this is like,
So is it-
if you're charging admission to places, I mean, if you're serving alcohol and charging.
Is that clarified in the ordinance?
Yeah, so.
Okay.
It'd be for the business, so if there's a business purpose. So it's really good for the business purpose of those events. If you're setting a business up for the intent to host public or private events there. Now, if you're a private business, if you're having a customer appreciation picnic, like, that's not gonna be there. 'Cause
There's
that's
no
not
money exchange, but there's.
But that's not your intent of the business, your business is a seed.
But it's the majority of the land use as well. It's
I
like,
see what you
you're using it from the majority of the time for that one purpose.
Yeah.
You're not just this.
I just want a little clarity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it.
That's good.
Thanks.
No, thank you. Would anyone else like to speak to this matter?
To help with that conversation, in that ag district, most ag-related activities are exempt anyway.
It's for kind of non-ag,
Yes.
right?
And
That's probably as
That's
good a
why it has to
definition
have
as
a special
anything.
permit.
For non-ag related,
What's the permit, what do you have to do to get a permit if you did have something where you were doing an event like that?
it's on the agenda, you come say what you're doing and you get a permit.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
you bet. Nope, it's good to clarify it from the beginning. Would anyone else like to speak to this matter? Seeing no one, I'll close the public hearing, turn it over to the council. If you would like to pass this ordinance, we would need to suspend the rules.
Move to suspend the rules of ordinance number 2438.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to suspend the rules. Amanda?
McGregor.
Yes.
Lopez. Yes. North.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
Postier.
Yes.
Wilkinson.
Yes.
Van Esch.
Yes.
Piper.
Yes.
And now we would need a motion for passage of ordinance number 2438.
Move for passage of ordinance 2438.
Second.
Motion and second, any further comments? Hearing none, Amanda?
McGregor.
Yes.
Lopez. Yes. North.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
Postier. Yes. Wilkinson.
Yes.
Van Esch.
Yes.
Piper.
Yes.
Motion passes. That brings us to the end of our agenda.